Welcome back to the Untouchaballs podcast. Caden and Evan here bringing you another MLB episode. Evan, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great, Caden. How about yourself?
Not too bad, Evan, not too bad. Got a lot of things to talk about on today's episode. Starting off, superstar first baseman up north in Canada, Vlad Jr. and the Toronto Blue Jays are in agreement on a 14-year, $500 million extension.
Interesting move. Very, very shocking. Out of the blue. Something we've never really seen before, an in-season extension of this caliber. Um, hey, Vlad didn't have the crazy start he might have wanted or expected, and maybe he just got scared. I don't know, but I honestly think the biggest winner in all of this is Kyle Tucker. You know, because now he's the big fish everybody's got to go get in free agency next year.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle Tucker, I agree with you, is like jumping for joy right now, especially with how hot of a start he's had. To Vlad getting locked up, yeah, no, he's going to be the hot commodity. He might get an extra 20, 30 mil on his contract to be the highest bidder. But then you look at it for the Vlad and the Jays, like you're saying, yes, it is a little strange, a little peculiar. Where we just heard at the start of free agency, Vlad tells the reporters, yeah, I had my numbers, they had theirs, and they weren't close. That made it seem like the Blue Jays were offering you like 300 mil over 12 years or something. At least in my eyes, I thought I was thinking he'd get at least 600.
At this point,
And then he's like, I have my deadline date, so now we're going to go into the season and see what happens just for 2 weeks into the season. Like, oh, now here's the extension. We found our number. And it's like, I think this number is a little lower than like what the initial arguments were about.
yeah, I still think it's a little high of a deal for him. Like a first baseman, especially. Um, I wouldn't be mad if I was Vlad right now. I get like if you want more money, but I really don't know. Like, you would have had to put on just a massive. You just had to have been insane this year to get anything higher than that. I think personally. The Blue Jays. Honestly, I think it's almost a loss for the Blue Jays because the Blue Jays did. I think they could have like waited it out. Honestly, um, you could. If he didn't have the year he was expecting to have, and he was going to be forced into signing a less deal, like at that point of the year, at this point, like the Blue Jays were kind of had the moral high ground in the sense, you know. Um, so it was like all of spring training just seemed unlikely, and then like this all kind of came like into form in like a day. So very weird.
Yeah, just the timing of it all is just kind of, I guess, throwing it off.
Good start for the Blue Jays too. They've been
The
pretty
Blue Jays do. They're actually leading the AL East right now.
yeah. Without their boy Max Scherzer hit the IL after one start.
Oh yeah. But speaking of that, we've had a lot of injuries so far to start this season too. Some notable names, some other names were like on Sunday, we saw Victor Robles make a amazing diving catch into that right field corner wall area netting in Oracle Park in San Francisco, and he messed up his wrist there. Big old commotion. Awesome catch. If you haven't seen it, watch the catch. It's incredible. But yeah, injured the wrist there. Never not seen him get placed on the 10-day. And then we've seen a bunch of
12 weeks,
just
man.
other injuries.
12 weeks.
You're not going to be a quick or easy recovery for Victor Robles after signing his offseason extension.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, they did just sign that extension. You're right. Yeah, like that's not. Yeah, definitely not ideal being out 3 months like that. Mariners could not afford him losing him, and they have to deal with it now. But other notable names, obviously, Cathal Marte hitting the IL. Relatively healthy. I think he had like a little stint at the end of last year where he was hurt, but for most of his career, he's pretty healthy. And hamstring, although he's not a big base stealer by any means, I don't think he even stole bases at all last year. But still not ideal to have a hamstring strain this early into the year. He had a good start too. Um, another, I mean, that's the D-backs arguably best hitter right there. Um, Not good for the Diamondbacks.
I think I'd go a little higher than to say it's. I think just Ketel Marte is the Diamondbacks' best hitter. But yeah, you're right. Getting a hamstring strain this early in the season's not great because those things like to linger, like to stay around, kind of hinder players for even after they return back into the field for at least a little while. That you hope it can be a quick trip for Ketel, get him back onto the field and he's back without a hitch. Because while the D-back team is good, you really do need Ketel in that lineup for it to be one of the best teams in baseball.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. And also, another injury, too, in the NL West. Uh, Blake Snell.
Snell?
Um, I mean, Dodgers could obviously afford to let him take some needed rest with the amount of pitching they have. But interesting stuff because like he's usually a guy we see struggle early on and pick it up as the season goes on, and now he's going to be taking some time off. So it'll be interesting if like he'll have to restart that process all over again. Not really great so far for the Dodgers, so he's kind of like doing what he's always done. Um, but again, Dodgers are one of those teams they could afford to lose a guy like that and still be okay, which not many other teams could say.
Yeah, that's a weird statement when you're like, yeah, they lost Blake Snell for a little while, but they're fine. They're okay. Yeah, what we've been seeing so far is the like kind of prototypical start to a season from Blake Snell. Control really isn't all of that there. Where I watched all of his start against the Braves, the last start we saw of him before he hit the IL, and his velo was there. Everything was there. It's just he doesn't have. I mean, he never really has true command, but he doesn't even have Blake Snell worthy command right now to start the season. Where he's walking four plus guys to start and not even getting his K's up there. Where it's going to be interesting to see after he comes off that IL, or we get out to see another handful of starts like we saw right here to start the year, or is he going to be hopefully a little further along in his start of year process that we've come accustomed to seeing from him?
Yeah, honestly, I think I mean, the Dodgers. I feel like they're going to see this a lot with a lot of like Dodgers pitchers just take IL stints. I mean, again, I'm not saying that, like the Blake Snell thing is he's like for sure, like he's faking the injury or anything, but like I feel like they're going to just like all these pitchers are going to hit the IL at some point, just spacing, giving themselves rest. Like I don't, I'm not saying that Snell's thing right now is, but I mean, just they have the depth to be able to do that, and why wouldn't they do that? They're not trying to, they're not trying to burn their guys. They're just trying to win championships, and they're gonna just try and have everybody healthy for the playoffs. So they can afford to have some guys injured.
Yeah, I never really, I guess, thought of it. I mean, I thought of it, but not, I guess, much. But I like that theory where we probably will see every Dodgers starter. Not only are they all injury prone, but like you said, they don't need it. That we'll probably see all of them at least hit the IL once this season, just to give them a little break, little breather on the elbow as they get closer. Yeah, like you said, trying to win championships. I mean, it's weird. Who knows with Snell because we do see a lot of, especially like a lot of injuries with Snell that limit some of his time on the field. That who knows, it could be a little bit of both. You might see him get held out maybe a little longer than you'd usually see, just because of how well off they are in the pitching department. So yeah, interesting theory, but I definitely could see that playing out this year.
Yeah. Hey, another thing too, like I feel it'd be too early for them to start that, but like by the time June starts rolling around, I think that's when that would happen. That's my theory of the day. So, yeah. But is there any other injuries we've missed? I don't believe so.
I don't think anything.
Eflin got pulled
Oh
from the
yeah.
start yesterday. Doesn't sound serious though. But if he goes down though, actually with an IL spot, then yeah, the Orioles. Who else? What's their 5-man
Yeah.
gonna look like? God, I mean, their ace, Zach Eflin just went down. Um, they just can't catch a break with the pitching. But yeah, hopefully Eflin's okay.
Yeah, no. So now though we're gonna go back to something kind of that we did last week. We got Dwyer's disappearing player right here. And who is he for this week, Dwyer?
Let me see here. He's pretty far away. Um, where are you, William Contreras? I can't find you anywhere. Um, my goodness, William Contreras, what happened? Because you aren't even hitting above 100 right now. Not a home run to your name. Let me see how many RBIs you have. You have no RBIs so far this year in 38 plate appearances. Holy moly. Expected numbers hate you right now. 9 strikeouts to 7 walks is about probably the only thing I could really say that's like at least you're keeping it semi close. But this Brewers team, after losing their best hitter last year in Willie Adames, they needed guys to step up in order to stay in the race. And I mean, between injuries already this year with their pitching rotation and other guys like Yelich having a slow start, but like he's coming off injury. William Contreras was your guy. You had to like count on like, okay, he was our all-star last year, entering age 27 season. Like he's gonna be our guy. And it's early, I know, but holy crap! Like he could have had a worse start.
Yeah, nice 360 OPS, a 7 OPS plus right now to start the season. So that's great out of probably what coming into the season was the best offensive catcher in the league. The hitting below 100. The no 3 hits, no extra base hits yet, no ribbies like you're saying. It has been a brutal start to the season for William Contreras. That yeah, 3 for 31, no extra base hits, no ribbies, 7 OPS plus.
Yeah, I mean this Brewers team. I mean they have some guys coming back. I mean if it wasn't for Peralta, God, like this team would be. I think they'd
Oh
really
yeah.
be screwed. I mean I don't know. I mean, another guy too. His brother's been brutal too. Both Contreras brothers has just been awful. Honestly, this segment could have been both of them because he had like an 0 for 22 like stretch to start the year too. Um, yeah, I don't know what's up with the Contreras brothers. I don't know. Maybe they're partying too much over the off season. We don't know. But let's pick it up, guys. Let's pick it up. It is April.
Yeah, we saw Judge hit sub 200 through April last year and
Yeah.
hit like 58 bombs to so. But also, let's
Yeah.
pick it up, boys.
Also, it is Aaron Judge though. So like.
That is true. Now, to kind of go with the theme of Dwyer's disappearing players, we got some teams that have been off to some sluggish, slow starts that had some above average expectations going into the year. Start off with the Houston Astros. People weren't sure exactly how it was going to work. You trade away Kyle Tucker for not much.
Oh, whoa.
And
Doc Paredes and Cam Smith are still viewed as, like, especially Cam Smith, are viewed as top
Cam
five.
Smith's viewed as stuff, yeah. But for God's sake, right, whatever.
Not the star player
And
they wanted.
not. They are 4-6 to start the year. Third in the AL West. They are Jordan Alvarez has been not particularly great at hitting the baseball to start this season. Only 1 home run, sub 200 batting average. Just looking not like Jordan right now.
No, yeah, he was a candidate for Dwyer's disappearing player of the week. He just got that home run 2 games ago. Had a 2-for-4 game. Um, you don't usually see Jordan Alvarez struggle like this, and it's kind of just been like the whole Astros lineup outside of Altuve, which hitting 350, 3 bombs, 5 ribbies. Like he's just back doing his thing. Doesn't matter about age. He just keeps on raking. Um, brutal on the field. Still brutal on the field. But I mean, the rest of this team, Yanir Diaz, Christian Walker, Isak Paredes, Cam Smith. Cam Smith doesn't look ready for the big leagues. Like the rest of this team's just not good. I mean, Pena has been okay, but like he's not. Honestly, not really. He's hitting a $143. So it's just been brutal. I mean, on the bright side, like they have Lance McCullers coming back for however long until he gets hurt again. I mean, they lost Luis Garcia. Like he had a setback in TJ, so he won't probably see him. And considering how long it takes for Astros pitchers to come back, don't expect them back anytime soon. Same with Javier. Don't expect them back this year. None of these guys. It's just been it's a very disappointing start for this Astros team, and I couldn't imagine being like the GM of this team being like, holy crap, what did I just do signing Walker, all these guys? Like, we should never trade to Tucker, guys.
Yeah. You sign Walker, and then you're like, okay, now you, Kyle Tucker, you get to leave. Sure, okay, that makes sense. Like you're kind of going for it, but you're not, and it just hasn't been working to start this year. Where I know we saw a really slow start out of the Astros last year. People were questioning if they were done for, and then they still ended up winning the division. But that team did at least have Kyle Tucker for half the season,
And Alex Bregman.
and Alex Bregman. That they need stuff that they just don't have anymore. Like they need better bats in certain positions that they either missed out on a free agency or traded away, let walk, that could really make them one of the best teams in baseball. But instead, they look just kind of misguided, misplaced.
Middle of the pack. Very middle of the pack esque. I mean, I definitely think these guys are like. I think Christian Walker. He's had a long track record of hitting. I think he'll be fine. I think Paredes will end up getting better. I think these other guys. Enir Diaz. He's hit in the big leagues before. Like he'll be fine. But like still, yeah. I mean, like even their pitching. Like yes, they're getting some guys back maybe down the road, but like you can't expect Ronel Blanco to be an all-star again. Like he already doesn't look like it again.
No.
I mean, this team. It's early again, like you said last year. Brutal start for the Astros. They ended up pulling out of it, but they don't have the Tucker behind the scene. They don't have that, like you said. And with Framber being in a walk year, this team could be sellers at the deadline, and probably the biggest sellers if we're talking at the trade deadline, like biggest pieces.
That is a very good point with the Framber walk here. If they're having a down season, especially come deadline, we could definitely see Framber get moved for a good haul of prospects.
Oh, for sure. Any predictions early on if he were to move?
Ooh, no, a lot of teams would like him. Who would have the
The Mets.
capital and who would the Mets?
That's my call.
Maybe, yeah.
But the Cubbies, they go get their boy Framber and Tucker. Go right back at him.
That'd be interesting because they do have a pipeline kind of established from this offseason with that and the Presley trade. If the Cubs come in and be like, we'll give you, I don't know.
They have like a ton of prospects. Trantos.
They have a lot of respect.
Alcantara's kind of stuck there. Like they have guys.
Yeah. The Cubs could be interesting.
Yeah.
Especially if they have a hot first half. Try to bolster the rotation. All the top of the rotation's lefties. Fromber, Steely, Managa.
That would be diabolical.
Can't Kerry Carpenter wouldn't see the field in a playoff series.
Gary Carpenter might as well not come to the game. He's just Speaking of, I mean, he had a bomb today. Love me some Kerry Carp.
Had a good start to the season.
Like it started against the White Sox. It was brutal to start, and then the White Sox happened, and he's got 4 bombs.
Yeah, the White Sox series was splendid for him.
White Sox clear. They save lives. They save careers.
The White Sox cure all. Now a team that would like to get some curing done by the White Sox. A division
They had
up.
their shot. They had their shot.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The division opponents, Minnesota Twins, who they took 2 or 3 from the Sox.
They got killed 9-0.
But
like, how do you lose, man?
But they also they got lost their first 4, and then after winning those 2 straight against the Sox, have lost 3 of their last 4. It's been a very tough stretch to start the year for the Twins. People just are not performing.
Our prediction of them winning the divisions got me very worried because.
Okay, Dwyer, what did we just say? It's only April.
Yes, Caden, but Bryce Lewis is already hurt. Buxton to be hurt. I mean,
Correa.
Yeah, Correa's been awful. He's hitting.
Oh, he's been terrible.
He could have been a Dwyer disappearing player of the week too. He was a candidate. I mean, Wallner's probably been their best hitter. He's hitting at least above 300, but no home runs. He's got RBI. I mean, not good. Not good. Injuries. It's just the same old Twins again. I mean, Pablo, at least he had a good start against the White Sox. You'd love to see that, I guess. But it wasn't very good against the St. Louis Cardinals. Joe Ryan's been good. Bailey Ober, brutal. But he also did have a sick start in there. He was wasn't going to pitch because he was sick, but then ended up pitching. But not a great year so far. Just call up Zebby Matthews. I want to see some of these kids play because I'm really getting worried. I think, honestly, what would you say out of 10? What's the panic meter on the Twins right now?
3.
Ooh, I'd go a little higher. I'm going to say 5. What about the Astros?
Probably about 4.
Okay. I would say probably.
So, I mean, we're only about 2.5 weeks into the 2 weeks into the season.
True.
Where it's like there's a lot of 5-6 months still left.
I agree. But we saw the same story with the Twins last year. Where, at least the Astros, they aren't hurt. They're just not hitting right now. But, the Twins are hurt again. And it's just, I know it's early, but, personally, I'm a little worried for them. I am.
I mean, every good player on their team does love to hit the injured list for at least 40 games a season.
That's a minimum.
So there is just that lingering, I guess, concern you have for this team that is always just so chronically injured. But I just think, I mean, kind of putting that aside, I'm not that worried about this Twins team as I think we see Bailey Ober figure it out, have Correa pick it back up to what he can actually do offensively. And I think they can just kind of revert back to what they should be doing.
Yeah, I guess. It's just I feel like with this team, in order to win this division, they need Royce Lewis to be the all-star. He's the best hitter in the lineup if they're gonna win this division, and him starting off hurt. I don't think they could win the division without Royce Lewis being A, healthy and B, good. And that's why I'm a little worried. And also it's the same Bailey Ober we saw last year. I know it's early. He had the sickness, but his whole thing, he pitches like an ace or he pitches like like the back end starter in a rotation. There's no in between. There's no okay start. It's either god awful or just ace killer stuff. So that's my Twins take.
But when you see that ace killer stuff,
But like if you see it
it
once,
gives you the idea of what possibly could be with Bailey Over. Like if he has that every now and then crazy ace stuff, what could happen is if he strings those a little more frequently together.
but that's the thing. Like that was the same thing last year, man. Like they had like it's the same story. And it's that we saw what happened last year. They finished what they have 72 wins, something like that. Not a lot of wins, not many. A lot of those against the White Sox, you know. So like, it's. I just feel like this is the same story over from last year, and that's not going to be good enough to win the division. I think the Tigers are ahead of them. Honestly, I have the Tigers. I know it's early again, but I still right now, as it looks, I think the Tigers are the best team in this division. At least the first
The
10 games
Tigers,
of the year.
the Tigers are looking very good to start this season. And that's also a Scooble not looking great, except he did shove today.
And Job. Job has this team's been hitting a little bit. They've been fine, you know.
Yeah, the things that hitting.
It,
Riley
it,
Green's been nice. Kerry Carpenter.
Spencer Torkelson, maybe he's back.
Spencer Torkelson's been hitting bombs.
So like Sweeney's not been bad either. Like we were shitting on their hitting a week or two ago, and then
Oh yeah, before the start,
we were glazing the pitching. The pitching's just not been there yet.
nope.
Reese Olson hasn't had the breakout. It's been a whole lot of that.
The Reese Olson breakout's still coming. It's only been 2 starts.
And he was against the White Sox though, man. He didn't.
I know.
I'm a little worried about it, but at the same time, I'm not worried about the Tigers. I really just think they're just that much. I think they're better. I think they're better than everybody in the division, honestly. Which I feel like the Royals are. I don't know. It's just I feel like we might have been a little off with the Tigers. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm still not so sure about that. I mean, we're still extremely early, and I think things will even out as the days advance and time goes on. We'll see the Tigers fall back down to more the middle part of the division, and the Twins will rise more towards the top, with the White Sox still sitting at the bottom.
You sure about that? We got the best starting rotation in the league.
Sean Berg, baby.
Oh yeah. What's his name? Martin Perez. Dog.
Martin Perez.
Yeah.
Former All-Star.
Yeah, we do. Hey, Zach Veen getting called up today, right?
Yes, sir. Zach Bean makes his debut tonight.
Went 5 for 5 in AAA.
Oh, and we forgot to mention Chase Dolander, MLB debut. He is the truth. He is the future. He is disgusting. And I can't wait to watch him pitch a road game.
I can't wait to see him in a different uniform, honestly.
Hey, no, he's ours.
I don't know. Rough start for them again, but I like seeing them calling him Veen. I mean, like, let the kids play, right?
Exactly.
Because what else? It isn't like you compete. Like, what else do they have going for them?
Dale Amador needs to get called up next.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why we're playing old-ass
Tovar,
Kyle Farmer. He's been not great, not awful.
Talaga hasn't done anything, right?
Tolia hasn't been great.
Okay.
It's weird. The starting pitching's actually been one of the best in baseball to start the season.
There you go.
So our 2 teams have had 2 of the best starting staffs to start this season. But then the Rockies have the worst bullpen in baseball to start the year, and their lineup has not been hitting at all. They only have 1 game scoring over 4 runs all year.
Oh. Good old Rocks. Have they played the Dodgers yet?
No,
The Diamondbacks?
no,
The Padres?
no.
Oh, man. Oh, okay. This is going to be okay. I think the Giants. Isn't the Giants been, like, insane, too, to start the year?
Giants have had a good start.
I'm pretty sure they're, like, second right now. Yeah, they're 8-2. What?
Yeah,
Oh, wow. That's a little shot. I mean, again, the Padres are 9-2. The Dodgers are third place. Oh, my.
yeah.
It's about the only time I just had to screenshot that because I don't know, you're not going to see it for too long. Wow. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, very. Dodgers in third. Maybe that can hold.
Hold. Hold.
Oh, I would, be fine witnessing that if that were to be the case.
I agree.
Well, I think that is a perfect point to leave this week's podcast. I thank you, Evan, for joining me once again. If you guys enjoyed this podcast, please leave a like on the video if you did enjoy. Leave a comment. Do you agree or disagree with any of the takes we said in today's episode? What should happen with do you think the Vlad contract was the right move by both sides? What do you think of some of these injuries? Tell us what you think. And make sure you turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload. What does Dwyer want to say?
Watch out, guys. Potential special guest on the way coming soon.
Dwyer is going to clutch up, be a legend, and get you guys a big guest for the pod. And I'm going to hold him to it because he has a chance, he has an opportunity, and he's going to succeed. Also, make sure you guys check out our new TikTok as well so you can see some of our shorts there as well. Thank you all for listening / watching to today's episode of the Untouchaballs podcast. I hope you enjoyed. And we'll see you all next time.